Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of AJ's Green Thumb. I know it's a little late in the afternoon. It's around 5 o'clock, so that gives you all an idea of what time it is. In this episode, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of wrap up that center bed border. I'm gonna go ahead and make some concrete mortar mix and lay the rest of those bricks and finish up that border. I think by the end of this weekend, I want to have it fully planted. I want to transplant what I got to transplant and button that up, and also put down some mulch because I have to move on to some other projects. Specifically, I'd like to work on that second pergola. That area, I want to go ahead and plant that up. So today I went over to Ed's Plant World. For the folks that know Ed's Plant World within the DC region, you know around this time of year they have some pretty awesome deals on perennials, shrubs, evergreens. They're really trying to clear their stock for the rest of the season. So today I was able to grab 3 little limes, a whole bunch of peonies, some Sarah Bernhardt's, it's a beautiful pink, blushing pink peony. I also got a bunch of coral bells or heuchera, and I want to say the creme de la creme of my haul today from Ed's Plant World. I bought this beautiful Laura petalum. Let me show you guys. So here it is right here. As you can see, it has these beautiful, I want to say lacy textured pink flowers. Very beautiful. They get pretty big. They get around 5 to 6 feet tall and wide. I think they're hardy from zones 7A to, I want to say 9 or 10. So they're very popular in the Mid-Atlantic and the Southern Appalachian regions. So I think it's going to be a nice addition to the garden. I'm going to have to keep it in the shade and part shade area of the garden. So I'm going to be planting this up probably tomorrow. So without further ado, let's go. All right, so it's getting awfully dark, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of sharpen out this edge right here in preparation for the mix and the bricks. All right, my friends, it is day 2 of this project of kind of buttoning up this center bed for Lady Limelight. It's pretty overcast today. Today's Sunday, and it's pretty windy, it's pretty overcast. It's a little bit chilly. It's probably in the upper 50s, lower 60s right now. Actually, that's great weather to be out in the garden. Like I said, the breeze is beautiful, very welcomed, so you don't put up that much of a sweat. You guys know what I mean. So, oh, there's a huge hawk right now circling the garden. I wonder what that's about. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and get this mix prepared. Whoa, it's kind of coming down low. Something's probably dead. Do your job, Mr. Hawk. That's what I love about this garden. There's so much nature present. So when I design my garden, I keep in mind to leave some things untamed, just so that I can invite nature. Anyway, so yeah, but let's go ahead and wrap this up. So I placed a little bit of gravel over here because I think when I was doing my edging, I might have went a little too deep. What a hot mess. Hey, hot mess gardener, what can I say? So, it's the second day. I had to run out and grab some more mix. You know how that goes when you underestimate your materials. So, I'm gonna go ahead and make one more pail of mix just to do up to this edge in front of this boxwood. And then I'm gonna go ahead and plop these plants in, because it's starting to get dark, it's starting to get late. For today, that's it for the hardscaping. Time to plant. Roots, baby. Roots, roots, roots. Yikes. So I'm not sure how much daylight I'll have left, but before I plant this up, I cannot ignore that iris, that overgrown iris. It's not a bearded iris. See this epic mess right here? It's got to get cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and weed a little bit and find the crown of this iris. It also has some ditch daylilies mixed in with it. Thing to do when you're dividing perennials or transplanting perennials is to just cut it down all the way to the crown. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't have time to be sifting through all of that foliage. So the tools I'm gonna use to divide these perennials, in this case an overgrown iris, is a folding saw, okay? Folding pruning saw, something like that. And this happens to be a Corona brand. That's once you get the clump out the ground. I mean, you can use a butter knife, whatever you want. This right here is nice to have, a cutlass or a machete, just to kind of cut through all the wild brush, okay? And also a pair of gardening shears. All right, these do need some cleaning and sharpening, but they get the job done. You know, honestly, I think I just wanted to use that to get some aggression off my chest. I'm gonna go ahead and use the shears. Like I said, it was a pretty thick overgrown clump. So it's gonna take a lot to dismantle. Woo! That came out of there. Wow. I'm thinking maybe I should put my other hibiscus, the new one I bought, just put that right there. And then once I divide up the iris, just populate this whole area with the iris divisions. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, let's go ahead and slap this. Whew, when I catch my breath. All right, so the hibiscus I got, it's called Head Over Heels Passion. I tell you, they're really coming out with some very creative names. So this is the flower right here. Here's the name. Got it on sale at Lowe's, half off, so it's about 12 bucks. You know, this time of year they're trying to get rid of their stock. So go ahead and plot that right here. That's gonna get 4 feet tall and wide. Kind of sort of like that rose mallow I have there. All right, and then the other hibiscus. Ooh. Excuse the mess, guys. All of this is gonna get, all of this right here, I'm gonna clean this up within the next few weeks. So please disregard. All right, and here's the other hibiscus. It's called Adore Head Over Heels. Again, the names are hilarious. You guys can Google how large Adore Head Over Heels gets. But it's going over here. I have an idea what the previous owner did in this area. They tried their darnest to create some sort of a barrier, because clearly they were a gardener as well. There was a huge azalea that was right here. And if you guys look back in my video log, you'll see I got a video, I think it was late spring, called More Blooms and Vegetables or something like that. Well, anyway, it showcased that azalea, and it was gorgeous. It was it's actually a deciduous azalea, and I mean, that thing was massive. It was about 6 by 6. Is that something in that water in there? It was about 6 by 6. Let's hurry up and get this thing planted, because I'm feeling kind of creepy. I think I saw something in that water move. Might be a snake. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Biotone. All right, let's go ahead and plop this one in. Roots are fine, no teasing needed. All right, we're gonna put a little compost around that. to provide it a nice long feed over the winter season. Now let's turn our attention to this one. Plant that real quick. We're losing daylight. I want to get at least a half of that border behind me planted up. All right, so that's hibiscus number 2 planted. All right, time to put our attention to this cousin it over here. Fold a knife. Now I must say, the leaves of both iris and daylilies are quite similar. So you're looking for fused leaves at the crown area, because that's just how iris leaves grow. I mean, you could see them individually, but they're all fused together. Daylilies, similar, but they're easier to pull apart, I guess. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, at this point in time, just start cutting it into chunks. Plant that. I'll make that a separate plant. This is another plant. These are 2 separate plants. It's 4 so far. All right, so planting these needs no demonstration. You just simply make sure the soil is right at the current soil level. All right, with irises, you don't want to plant them too deep. You want them at the surface. However, I'm going to mulch the entire area so that the crown doesn't freeze over the winter. All right, so we're gonna count together how many divisions I have here. Oh my God. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 19, 20, 7, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I have literally over 30 pieces of the iris that came out of that huge hole. I could tell it's been in there at least 10 years without being divided. So I'm gonna do a giveaway. I don't know who wants some. You know, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and do a giveaway. So down in the description section of this video, I'll go ahead and put the, I guess, conditions or whatever for receiving a blue iris, a blue iris division. All right, guys. All right, guys, day 3. I know you can't tell, but we got some improvement over here. So I've since lifted and divided the massive iris. I came up with about 25 pieces of that iris. So I went ahead and I healed about 15 of them. Planted about 8. My math is jacked up, but you guys know what I'm saying. So I planted some I healed the rest. So let me go ahead and give you guys an update of this area and let you know what I have left to do. All right, hope you guys can see what I'm pointing out. So I went ahead and placed 1, 2, 3, 4 divided iris. Here is a hibiscus. Like I said, it's gonna get about a good 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. Another iris, a couple over here. I cleared out a lot of weeds over here. So it appears that there's a shelf right here that the previous owner kind of set up, I guess, to manage the water runoff before it gets into the drain. So then here's the dip right here. So I think what I'll do in this area is put a bunch of crocosmia. Over the spring, I went ahead and potted up, I don't know, probably 20 crocosmia bulbs, and they've all sprouted. And I even got some flowers this past early summer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a bunch of them in there, and then I'm gonna come back with some rocks. Now this is gonna be a larger effort that I'm gonna have later on. Now if I have enough time and energy before we get too cold, I'll go ahead and plant up all those crocosmias down there. That'll be a nice sea of orange red. Now crocosmia has very long grass-like strappy foliage, and then they all shoot out a flower stalk that's probably twice the height of the grass, and it's really pretty. I'll put a picture up on the screen. So that'll be back there, and then all my iris will be in the front as a ground cover, and that'll be blue, or like a deep purple blue. I'll go ahead and put a picture of that up on the screen. So over here, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more iris, okay? So in this corner right here, before I make this bend, underneath these hibiscus, I've got 3 stone crop sedum. Last night I went ahead and put in 2 of these sedum. So you guys get the idea. I've got sedum, catmint, sedum, catmint. And this last area of this bed, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peonies. So I've got Sarah Bernhardt. I'll throw a picture of that up on the screen. Big Ben. Sorbet. So enough yapping, let me get cracking. All right guys, so I just finished planting 3 Persian blue catmint. I did a video on the maintenance of cutting it back about 4 or 5 videos back. They are all used as ground cover in my part shade hydrangea garden. And a few requirements for Persian blue catmint, or just catmint in general. They need well-draining soil. They need full sun. They need to be spaced about 1.5 to 2 feet apart. They're hardy in zones 3 to 8, and then they bloom from early summer all the way to fall. You could actually get a second flush of blooms if you go ahead and prune it back late summer. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plant these other 2 right here. right here beneath this Joe Pye weed. All right, let's get these peonies planted. I'm really losing daylight. All right, so with peonies, you have to remember to not plant them deep. If you plant them too deep or you plant them deep, they won't flower. They won't flower as well. So you plant them at or above the soil line. They like soils that are rich, so you'd use something with organic matter in it, like compost, leaf mold. You could use Leaf Grow. That's a good brand. It's really popular in the Mid-Atlantic. I'm going to go ahead and dig these holes and add some biotone starter fertilizer and top dress everything with compost. This one here is peony sorbet. One of the peonies that I had potted up. I have a video where I potted up a bunch of peonies early spring of this year. You guys should check it out. So it has a decent root system. Sarah Bernhardt. Make sure I put this tag right here so I remember where it is, because foliage and the stems generally die back, and over winter you really can't tell where it is, so it's good to place a marker. Top dress with some compost so it can feed over winter. So you generally want to top dress with some compost in the late fall so that it can feed during the winter months. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here, being that it is practically dark. And in this quick video, or this segment of the video, I showed you guys the progress I made in putting down this concrete border. I had lifted and divided a huge overgrown iris. I divided it into 20 plus divisions. I planted some. I also planted some hibiscus. And along this back alley, I guess you can call it, between the hibiscus and this Joe Pye weed, okay, I underplanted with sedum, then catmint, then sedum, then catmint. And I ended over here with planting the peonies over in this end. All right, guys, so I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for hanging with me. AJ's Green Thumb.